Okay, hello guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel Rajat Automation Interviews. Today we'll talk about one of the Java interview question, which is mainly asked to test your basic understanding of Java. I mean, this is very basic question, but many people like even the developers and the QAs are not able to answer it. So today we'll try to uh, get the answer of this question and we'll get into some details of it, right? So one of the basic Java interview questions, and even the interviews asked QAs, estate, and all the automation people also, like just to test your basic knowledge on Java. I mean, you you all guys must agree with me that there will be some point where they ask you like how do you rate yourself in Java, and you say like probably out of 5 out of 10 you rate yourself, right? So if you don't know this basic question, like what is difference between stack and heap memory, so that will not give a good impression on their side. So this is a very basic question, and hope everyone should know about this, right? So we'll see this question. What is the difference between the stack and the heap memory? So when we talk about the Java memory management, these two things always comes, stack and heap memory, and how the memory i- is allocated and deallocated in Java. And I mean, Java memory management is a very huge topic, but we'll see only a small part of it, like what is stack and what is heap memory and what are some basic differences between them. Correct. So we'll directly jump into the uh, our ID. Okay, so here I have one simple program where the class name is stack heap. Okay, the class name is stack heap, and here we are uh, storing a instance variable, right? We have given instance variable c equals to 10. We have one method called sum, and inside this method we have two local variables, a and b, and where we are doing some sum, and again we have a one function called display, which is just printing our result, right? So here if you see, we have a, b, and sum, which are local variables. This is the instance variable, which is shared among, I mean, instance variable is accessed throughout the class, and again we have one local variable res, which is will be printing our result. So res is also one of the local variable. So local variables are nothing but those variables which has scope inside their methods only are called as local variables. These variables are created and destroyed inside their particular method only, right? So these are not accessible outside this method. Okay, so we have one more method called main. So here we are creating the object of this class and calling this sum function, and this sum function will again call this display function, right? Yeah, so this is a simple program, and if you execute this, so you'll get a result 50, correct? Yeah. So we'll try to understand stack and heap from this program. That is the reason I've just written this program, and from this program only we'll see uh, what is stack and what is heap, and which variables are stored as a part of stack memory and which are stored as a part of heap memory. Correct. So let me jump to one of the whiteboard here. Okay, let me quickly draw some diagram for you so that we have a pictorial representation of it. And okay, So let us quickly call this as stack, okay, and this as heap. Okay, so this is our stack and this is our heap. And okay, now let's see this program once again. Okay, so in stack and heap, if you see this program consists of how, like, what type of variables. It has instance variable, it has local variables, it has a reference variable, right? So what is stored in stack, once this program is executed, what is stored in heap? Okay, so let's first talk about the stack. Okay, so ध्यान से सुनिएगा. uh, uh, when program is written, we declare some variables, right? We declare instance variable, we declare local variables inside the method, we have reference variables which are pointing to the object which is created for that particular class, right? So in stack, we can, I mean, once the program is created in stack memory, all the local variables and the function calls or the method calls are stored in stack memory. Okay, once again I'm repeating, once the program get executed in stack memory, we store local variables, okay, and all the function calls. So here in the program, if you see how many local variables we have a, b, sum, res. These are local variables, right? And what are the methods? We have main method, we have display method, we have sum, correct? So now what happens once this program executed? What is the first method which is called? Main method, correct? So once this main method is called, what happens? This main method gets allocated in this stack memory, okay? And what sort of variables we have here? Inside main method, we have this reference variable, okay? So now once this main method is called, okay, inside this main method we are calling this sum method, right? So this sum method will be called, so this sum method will be called, so this will again take some memory in stack. Okay, now if you see inside some method we have two or probably three local variables, right? So once this some memory gets allocated, some methods get allocated in the memory, we have another uh, section inside that sum. Also we have all the local variables which are associated with this sum method, right? So we have a comma b comma sum. Okay, don't confuse, don't get confused with this sum and this sum. This sum is a local variable here and this is the main method. Okay, my bad, just okay, right? So this sum is a method and this sum is a local variable. Okay, so once this program gets executed, right? जब भी ये program execute होगा, what is the first method which is called main method, right? So now that main method get allocated in the stack memory. Again, this main method is calling this sum method, right? So now this sum method is called, now this sum method gets allocated in the stack memory. And what is all thing happening inside the sum method? We have local variables a, b, and sum. So these local variable get also takes place memory in stack. So we have a, b, sum, right? Now inside this sum method we have one more method which is called, which is display, right? So again the display method will take some memory here, and inside the display what we have local variable called res, right, which is storing the result. So this will also get allocated, right? Now as all of you know, stack is based on which principle? It is based on LIFO, which means last in first out. जो भी लास्ट में आया है वो फर्स्ट बाहर जाएगा, करेक्ट? सो now, so if you see, once this main method is called, again this sum method is called, right? And again this display method is called. So what is happening? So once this main method is called, right, so what is going to happen, uh, this sum method will be, so what will happen, so inside this sum we have a plus b, right, this will, okay, so here if you see 20 30 will be passed to a and b, and the sum will be 30, sorry, 50, right. And now this method is called display, and 50 is passed, and here res will be 50, and it will just display. So which will execute first? This display will execute it first, right. So here also, once this display get executed, it deallocates. Deallocate means it, the memory will be free, so it will get, okay, okay. So once display method is executed, the memory get frees from the stack, so it gets deallocated. So what happens, this will going to remove, right. Now what is the second method which got executed? The sum one, right. So now this sum method will be erased, and it frees the memory. At last, what all is left is main. This is also get freeze. So this works on the LIFO principle, like last in first out, right. Yeah, right, let me store those things back. Yeah, so this is how stack memory works. So just to revise, in stack we when we run a program, all the local variables and all the function calls or the methods are stored in stack. Also, if you see, we have one reference variable. OB is a reference variable. Okay, so it is storing the address, or it is referring to the this object which is created, right. So this will also get stored uh, in our stack memory. Okay, so here if you see, we will have the reference variable also stored in stack memory. Okay, so we have local variables, we have function calls, we have reference variable, all get stored in our stack memory, and they gets allocated and deallocated. I mean, they get allocated and they get deallocated based on the our LIFO principle, last in first out, right. Now let us quickly talk about our heap memory, right. So in our heap memory, uh, just give me a second here. Okay, so in our heap memory, what variables and what of sort of things it get stored? So whenever the program get executed, okay, so whatever the objects we have created for that particular class, those objects get stored in the heap memory, and all the instance variables. So here we have instance variable 10, oh sorry, instance variable c, okay, which has value 10, and we have an object which is new stack heap. Okay, this is the object, this is not the object, this ob is not the object, this is a reference variable, and this is the object. So object are created with the keyword new, right. So this is a object, and this is a reference variable which is pointing to this or referring to this particular object, right. So this objects get created here, correct. Yeah, so now we'll have this object, right. So suppose this object is nothing but the new stack heap. Okay, yeah. So this is the object, and this is what get allocated in our heap memory. Now inside this object we have our instance variable, right. So here we'll have our variable c. Okay, now uh, and now if you see, this is the reference variable, right. If you see, this op was the reference variable, and it was pointed to the object of, and the address of this object, right. So what it will do, it will just point it to this object. Okay, yeah. So what we have seen, in stack, we have seen like whenever the program get executed, it stores all the local variables, all the methods call, and all the reference variable, right? In heap, what gets stored? In heap memory, all the objects which are created are stored, and all the instance variables are stored. Okay, yeah. So there is lot of things in the heap also, like how it get allocated and deallocated. Like we have a garbage collection, okay, and how garbage collection works, that we'll see in next video. But for now, this is it. And just we wanted to explain, just I wanted to explain you the difference between the stack and the heap, and how and what sort of variables get stored in each memory. Okay, yeah. So this is the basic difference. What else can be a, I mean, if an interview asks you this question, what is the stack memory and what is the heap memory in Java, and what is the difference? So this is one of the major differences, and probably you can just create one simple program and you just explain through this pictorial diagram, so that they also are impressed with you, that you know the depth knowledge of stack memory. Second difference will be, so second difference will be, so if stack memory gets full, we get exception java dot hang dot stack overflow exception. Okay, so whenever the memory is full in the stack, so there is a memory leak, so we get an exception called stack overflow exception. Okay, and if our heap memory gets full, we get what sort of exception? We get out of memory exception. Okay, so this is also one difference. Like in stack, if memory is full, so example will be recursion. So recursion is what, like a function calling itself again and again. Okay, so in that case it can fill up the stack memory very quickly, and if memory get full, we get an exception called stack overflow exception. And in heap, if garbage collector is not able to clear the memory, then uh, we get out of memory exception. Okay, yeah. And what else? Yeah, stack memory, if you see, is much less in size as compared to the heap memory. So stack memory is very small in size, and heap memory is bigger in size as compared to this stack. Okay, yeah. So these are few differences between stack and heap, and I hope you guys have understood clearly. And if you guys have any question, just post your question in the comment section, and I'll try to answer it. And if you haven't understood anything, or if you have any suggestion or feedback, please let me know. I'll try to uh, go through all your comments and try to see uh, what sort of suggestion and feedback you have. And if someone has not understood anything, I'll try to uh, comment on that particular piece. Okay, I hope you guys have liked this video, and I hope you understood it also. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and please press the bell icon for the notification if any new video comes out. Okay, uh, thank you guys. Bye.